Well, on page 4 of the Daily Mail, there's a story yesterday that, well, it wasn't on the news because there's a lot of football and everything happening. And it's actually from America, the Supreme Court in America. They decided 2 cases yesterday that's really, really powerful. And it changed a lot of things. And it's to do with, there's a particular one. There's one I'm going to read out now on page 4 of the Daily Mail. It says, Supreme Court upholds Trump ban on Muslims. Well, you see, the problem with the papers, with the media, is a Trump ban on Muslims. It's not a ban on Muslims. It's a ban on countries where you have a lot of terrorists coming from, and those countries happen to be majority Muslims. And that's the problem with the media. It says Donald Trump won a landmark legal victory last night when the U.S. Supreme Court upheld his controversial travel ban targeting Muslim majority countries. In a hotly anticipated 5-4 ruling, the court, which has a conservative majority, ruled the ban on travel from a short list of countries is constitutional and squarely within the president's authority. Mr. Trump hailed it as a tremendous victory and said this ruling is also a moment of profound vindication following months of hysterical commentary from the media and Democratic politicians who refuse to do what it takes to secure our borders and our country.
He added, as long as I'm president, I will defend the sovereignty, safety and security of the American people. The court's ruling provides the White House with crucial legal backing for the crackdown and ends a long-running legal battle over the ban.
Opponents had claimed it was constitutional because it discriminated against people on the basis of their religion. 5 of the 7 countries targeted are predominantly Muslim.
Okay.
And that is wrong because the thing is that look, any foolish, and even a fool would understand that the ban is not targeting Muslims. It's just that most of those countries are countries where most of these terrorists came from.
Yeah, and so, therefore they're going to screen them very, very carefully.
And thank God, what the Supreme Court actually said was that he has the right to do so because those countries haven't got systems in place to check who and who is leaving their shores to go cause trouble overseas.
Sure.
And then even the Homeland Security is not even well fine-tuned to even sort out who is who. Yeah. So he's within his right to do so. And we thank God for that. And you know what made the difference? Was the fact that he introduced a new judge into the system, Judge Gorsuch. He made a huge difference. They voted by 5-4 on this particular case. If Hillary Clinton had been president, I can assure you she would have put a liberal judge there. And that liberal judge would have tilted it the other way. And that's the way it works. And yesterday there was another thing that was determined by the judges again on 5-4 basis. There are some states in America that's trying to force abortionists, like the Planned Parenthood, to advertise on television publicly that, look, we do abortion, come here if you want to get rid of your baby, and of your babies. And some people said, some Christians fought back and said, no, you can't be allowed to do that. It's not right. So they had to take that case to the Supreme Court. And yesterday, by 5 votes to 4, the Supreme Court said, yes, the ban they shouldn't be allowed to advertise aggressively. It's not something you go and say, well, bring the babies to be killed. Let the clinics be there to do whatever they want to do for whoever wants to go voluntarily, but don't encourage people to just come for abortion.
Exactly.
And that's what makes that's the difference there, which we thank God for, because we've been praying. Father, just do something. Now, a lot of babies will be spared death, because these guys the devil is smart. He allows for creativity to produce adverts that make the thing look so fashionable. Like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a cell, and you're not prepared for it. So just get rid of it. Oh. And that's what they're fighting for. Now, when you look back to when President Trump won the election, you can see the bitterness on the faces of those people. When they were crying, it is because of what is happening now. They really wanted things turned in a particular way. I personally, when I look at their faces, I don't see human beings. I see demonic forces who are really, really disappointed that they didn't get their way to destroy more human beings. That's what I see. Yeah. I feel sorry for the people, but they are under the influence of the devil. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I mean, everybody is suffering because of terrorism, and therefore Trump is actually trying to take drastic measures to stop terrorists coming into his country and to stop the destruction of human life on a much, 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 much weaker scale. What about when you go through the airports now? Can't it be frustrating at times, you know, if you've inadvertently left a container with any kind of liquid in your cabin bag as you go through security. You have to wait sort of up to like 40 minutes while they check your bag because there's such a long queue. You know, we used to have the freedom to be able to take to another country whatever we wanted. Yeah. We could take big bottles of sun cream and liquids, and we could buy our drinks and take our drinks from home and take them. All of that has changed. We have to go through scanners now where we stand there, you know, in these little machines. They check our shoes. You have to take your shoes off. You have to take everything off. The reason we're doing all of this is because of terrorism, okay? And so the airports have said, right, in order to protect you, in order to potentially save your life whilst on a plane, we are going through all of these measures, and it doesn't suit everyone. People who take a bottle of baby milk, baby formula, you know, they have to take the lid off. They have to drink some of it first. I mean, there's all sorts of measures that have been taken. And the whole reason for all of this is because it's there to protect our safety. Trump is saying, I'm going to protect my country, and because the extremists, for the very most part, are coming from these Arab countries, we're going to be so careful in who we let in, you know, and so therefore people are suffering, not because of Trump, but because of the terrorists. That's right. What it goes down to.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just simple common sense.
Yeah.
If a lot of the terrorists are coming from these countries, then place a ban on them until you have systems in place to check
screen
who
them
they are.
properly.
To screen them properly.
That's right, exactly.
It's simple.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the liberals, they look for any excuse.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the recent case where they're talking about children being separated from their parents.
Yeah.
They forgot the fact that this thing was in existence under President Clinton, under President Bush, and even under Obama. It was worse because there were so many of them in detention.
Yeah.
But in those days, it was okay because it was their people that was in power. But now, the new world order is not happy with people like President Trump, who is throwing a cog in the wheel.